Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 18 of What If Naruto was sent to the Highschool DxD universe. If you guys enjoy this What If, and want to see part 19 of it, comment down below and let me know. Also check out previous parts of this What If. I have created a playlist for this What If, where you can find all the previous parts, the link is in the description. And also go ahead and check out other What Ifs in the channel. Before we start, please do support for more awesome content. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. And also check the description for the creator of this great fanfic, and support them for making this fanfic. So let's start this video. Ku Academy, school to many creatures, be them humans, devils, angels, fallen angels, vampires, Yaokais, Asgardians, and never forget to mention, a dimension-displaced super ninja, was an all-around peaceful school, when it's not under the threat of a supernatural being trying to destroy it. But that wasn't the only threat the school faced. In these very walls exists the legend of a stubborn class filled with miscreants of every kind, students of many sizes and quirks, characters whose legendary rebellious nature was the stuff of legend. Teachers, whose legendary disciplinary acts made other miscreants quake in their boots, fell prey to this legendary class. But they weren't your average miscreants, they were extraordinary miscreants, never succumbing to the rule of law. Their name strikes fear into the heart of teachers, and their front door itself warded off other students with its unparalleled dreadful aura. They were indomitable, undefeated, unbeatable, inexpugnable, insuperable, impregnable. They were Class 3. Cue the thunderclap. Now, in these very hallways, corridors, every corner of every classroom, the libraries, the labs, the various club buildings, the staff rooms, and the principal's office, the name of a rising disciplinarian star rode through the mouth of the maidens to the dreams of the fangirls. The silent whispers of the haters, the criticizing epistle of the teachers, and the mind of the innocent bystanders throughout the entire school, until his fame jumped through the fence and reached neighboring schools, bringing the tale of his exploits with it. In layman's terms, he was what you'd call a total prick, a very rude, unpleasant, moody and broody man. And now, that very same rising star stood at Class 3's front door, glaring at the doorknob. Will he be able to shepherd these miscreants? Will he be able to subdue them, to tame them, to underbring, to manage, to puppeteer, to rule, to guide these piles of misfits? He is the school's last hope, and, quite frankly, he was Class 3's last hope. His name. Cue the swooshing sound. The fate of the class and teacher will be decided today, it's now or never. Tensions boiled over as the teacher sized up the students, and the students did the same to the teacher. This was the moment of truth, the moment they have all been waiting for. As the tension thickens to unbearable lengths, the teacher finally spoke. Today, he paused for dramatic effect, the students on the edge of their seats. Today, he said, trailing off again. Ah, the suspense is killing me, teach. A student suddenly yelled, earning nods and murmurs of agreement from his fellow students. The teacher inhaled suddenly and closed his eyes before he let out a prolonged sigh. The students were about to die of curiosity. They stared with wide dread eyes, their hands shook as if they had tremors, and their feet tapping the floor sounded like the march of soldiers. And then the teacher spoke. We're going to elect a new class president. The whole class leaned on their chair with a moan, their interest dislocated. There's no one suitable to be class president judging from your performances, so we are going to pick 3 random students and vote. Hail democracy. The same student who yelled like 6 paragraphs ago, yelled again, and the class burst into laughter. You, stand up, Naruto pointed at him. Your name, punk. It's Oga Tabe, he answered with an upbeat attitude. Come out here, Oval. The boy raised an eyebrow at Naruto, but came out nonetheless. Naruto hummed as he searched around for another suitable candidate. A little smirk graced his features as the students averted their eyes, not wanting to make eye contact with him lest he choose one of them. A certain blue-haired boy played with an action figure, making sounds worthy of an action movie soundtrack while playing with said action figures. He tuned out everything going on in the class, and with such efficiency. He was in another world of his own. Boy. Naruto yelled, staring at him. The blue-haired boy raised his head from what he was doing, and noticed the whole class was silent, which was weird, before he locked eyes with Naruto. He looked behind, and slapped a poor student behind him on the shoulder and pointed at Naruto. His actions earned him a glare from the boy he assaulted. You, Super Saiyan Blue. Naruto said, pointing at him. Me? Sasuke asked, pointing a finger at his chest. Receiving a nod from Naruto, he stood, action figure still in hand, beside Oga. Come out here. We just need one more candidate, Naruto mused out loud, still searching for a suitable candidate. Sexist pig, a female student sneered, before she went back to playing possum. The whole class went silent hearing her. They looked from her to Naruto, feeling a great catastrophe was about to happen. Boy, sexist, Naruto said, already standing in front of the brown-haired girl. The students wondered how he got there so fast. Get up, punk, he ordered with his normal poker face. The girl sighed before she raised her head, her hair casting a curtain over her face, before she tucked them to the back of her ears, and stared right into Naruto's sapphire blue eyes. Blank dark blue orbs stared into sapphire blue ones disinterestedly. In case you didn't notice, I'm no punk. I'm a bitch, sexist. Oh, the whole class cheered. What's your name, kid? Naruto asked, placing his hands on the table, getting close to her face. He was impressed. The girl held his gaze without blinking. Meet Yuri Brown. A half-caste, an all-around bitch. The #1 female student in class 3. Sorry, but mama told me not to give my name to strangers. Oh, the students yelled again. 2 points for Yuri, 0 for Naruto. Need I remind you who you're talking to? Naruto asked with a serious air around him. The auburn-haired student bit her lips, feeling a bead of sweat cascade down her face before she replied, Yuri. The pressure she felt was nerve-wracking, to say the least. All traces of friendliness were erased from the blonde teacher's face, and all of a sudden, it returned. Well then, Lily, get your ass off a chair and go stand with them. Naruto ordered. Brown did as she was told with a grimace on her face. Listen up, you piles of trash. One out of those 3, Naruto paused, pointing at the students in front of the class, is going to become the class president, and that's all up to you guys. He finished, staring at the students. What's it gonna be, Super Saiyan Blue? Sasuke glared at Naruto. Oval. Olga raised an eyebrow. Or Lily. Yuri looked away, disinterested. You have 2 minutes. 2 minutes later. And the class president is Yuri. The students gave her an ovation as the candidates went back to their seats. She couldn't help but scoff at the kids clapping. Just a little more, she told herself. Just a little more, and you'll never have to come here again, Brown. She thought. Naruto stared at the new class president. The girl had a vibe about her, a vibe that made Naruto uncomfortable. Okay, class. Today, we are going to discuss, Naruto began only to see that the whole class had dozed off while some were outright snoring. A sigh escaped his mouth, and he dropped the note he held and gripped the table. Shall we go through the rules again? He asked, gritting his teeth. A cracking sound followed each word he spoke, as the table groaned due to the pressure he applied on it, jolting everyone back to reality. The students all sat straight, at attention, quaking with fear. You damn well know that everyone here doesn't give a damn about what you want to say, nor are they interested in books. The freshly minted class president spoke, earning nods from her fellow students. We are below the average statistic of an average student of Kuro. Every teacher who walked through that door gave up on us. She paused, expecting Naruto to say something, and when he was about to, she cut him off. You'll say you're different, but that's what they all said, and you're no different. Just give up on us now and have a clear conscience, because we won't blame, we'll do the opposite, we will praise you. The whole class sat straight, expecting Naruto to give up, but he did something that caught them off guard. He chuckled. Do you think this is funny? Brown asked, feeling offended. Listen here, noobs. He walked from the front of the class to the 3rd row. From the 1st row, tell me what you see yourself doing 6 years from now. What? A student asked. Tell me your dreams, your future goals. Forget about class today and tell me a thing or two about yourselves. Now you're interested, Brown scoffed. Naruto paid her no heed as he pointed a finger at a black-haired girl, with her hair in twin tails, and big purple eyes. Me? She asked, standing up. Introduce yourself and tell me about your likes, dislikes, and dreams. She stuttered, staring at the ground. Naruto raised an eyebrow at her, his normally inapproachable aura lowered. You have none? The girl twisted her hair nervously. What's your name? Utsukushi. Beautiful name, Utsukushi. Tell me, what do you like to do most? That doesn't bore you. The one thing you find fascinating. I don't know. I've been wondering, what kind of hair products can I use to tame my wild hair? Naruto asked all of a sudden, running his hand through his blonde locks. It depends on your budget, but I'd recommend a few hair products that will help keep you. There's the problem with these blasted fringes that gets in my eyes every time I blink. What kind of hairs? Naruto began, brushing the stray strands off his eyes, and hadn't finished his sentence, when Utsukushi's face lit up, as she brought out a set of scissors from nowhere, already picturing Naruto with different hairstyles. She blushed upon seeing the surprised look on the students' faces. You can sit down, Utsukushi. Hey, Super Saiyan Blue, Naruto called Sasuke, who was busy playing with an action figure, again. The whole class snickered at the new nickname. Tell me, what are the materials used in making action figures and the process behind it? Sasuke gave a well-detailed explanation with a smile on his face. He remembered watching a documentary on how action figures were made. Here's another question. This is my watch. Naruto threw it at him and the boy caught it. Can you tell me what's wrong with it? It's not ticking anymore. Sasuke inspected the watch, before he sat down, and brought out a toolbox out of nowhere, and started pulling the watch apart. Oi, Super Saiyan, that's Sensei's watch. Olga yelled. It's alright. Let him dismantle it. Naruto had secretly removed a part of the watch, before he threw it at Sasuke. Olga, Chelsea played a game against Manchester United yesterday. I missed the game because I was under some meds and slept off. Can you give me a recap? Olga did what he was told with a detailed explanation. Nice, not bad. Naruto complimented them. The whole class went silent when they realized what Naruto was doing. Listen, kids. There exist some students who don't even know what they are good at, nor do they know what they want to be in the future. Now, that is true, but they forget one thing, and that one thing is called interest. The kids listened with rapt attention. You can perform brain surgery on a student and fit a whole mathematics textbook in it, but the reality is if he's not interested, it'll all be in vain. Now, your goal as a student is to know that interest, and my goal as a teacher is to impart the knowledge, to become a link between you and this. Naruto raised a textbook. But I can't link you to this, he said, raising a textbook for everyone to see, if you don't try to learn about it. If you are not interested in it, you can't pick up a phone without a SIM card and start calling your friends with it. There's a procedure to follow before you do that. Most of us dream of becoming a pilot, a doctor, an astronaut, a lawyer, a teach noob. Scratch that. The whole class laughed and Naruto had a little smirk on his face. But as we grow up, little Super Saiyan Blue might say, Daddy, I don't want to be a doctor anymore. I want to be a hero, and my hero's name is going to be Captain Underpants. Sasuke glared at Naruto with a blush on his face, while the whole class shared a laugh. Then Sasuke ate mommy's food, and now, he's all grown up. Then he'll say to his father, Dad, I think I want to be a public relation officer. Naruto walked to the middle of the class with a smirk on his face. There's no such thing as being interested in nothing. There's something you want to see, to know, to do, no matter how minuscule, how mediocre, how lofty, how scientific, how artistic it is. It doesn't matter if you're interested on a full scale or a short scale. When you have that interest, the next thing you need is knowledge on that object of interest, and the current path you're on will provide that. Naruto finished. But school can't teach us everything. A random student said. Sure, learning isn't limited to school, it's everywhere around you. But school will provide you a basic understanding of very important things that will do you a world of good when you finally embark on your journey towards what you want to become in the future. I believe everybody can learn, and that there are no such things as a dullard. Yes, even dullards have something they excel at that's not school related. Everybody can learn unless there's something wrong up here, Naruto said, pointing a finger at his temple. The bell signified the end of the class, and kids were so engrossed they didn't notice the period was over. Naruto chuckled because he was engrossed in the conversation too. Here's your first assignment. His words earned a groan from his students. I want you to write your likes and dislikes and your life goals. I want it on my table at 7:54 a.m. Failure will attract a penalty. Have a good day, punks. TCH, that girl was right, talking to them works better sometimes. Naruto mused. For some reason, I want to put those kids on the right path. Oh? Are the kids growing on you already? You wish? Cool. Unknown location. The multitude of humans stood in a deserted street in different rows, staring at an empty podium. A huge purple curtain was all they could see. The boss ordered everyone available to be present today. All members of the Styx Cry group were there, even the lieutenants. The 6 lieutenants each have a title called the Kleptomaniacs. Together they are called the Klepto 6. Listen up, boys. Their leader, Quavo, arrived with style, in a cowboy outfit, wearing an ash-colored cloak, and a brand new ash-colored cowboy hat with a 2 golden bullhorn design on it. He performed a proper burial for the old one and promised to avenge it, and now, he was out for blood. A tooth for a tooth, an eye for an eye, a hat for a life. I told you rat since day when I was gone led y'all to greatness, when I picked yo stinking ass out of them filthy slums. And now, I stand in front of you to tell y'all, it's time for me to fulfill that promise. If all things go according to plan, we will rise to unfathomable greatness, greatness the likes of which has never been seen before. We will rule this earth as the absolute power. Yes, boss. You once might have heard whispers, yeah, or might have seen things, but now, I tell you this, you can gain true power, just like me. Yep, that's right, you filthy boys can finally have special powers as I do. The whole crowd of criminals burst into murmurs. The path to power is a painful one, but I assure you my brothers in crime, the pain will be worth it. The murmurs got so loud, it was getting out of hand. Quavo brought out his gun and opened fire on one of the poor saps. He scored a perfect headshot and blew the smoke off the mouth of the gun and twirled it, using his index finger before he holstered it safely in a pouch on his lap. The whole crowd flinched back, afraid of meeting the same fate the poor sap did. Fo not interrupt me, while I am talking. He yelled at the tops of his lungs until he was out of breath. Now, where was I? Oh, I was telling you once that you can have power, great power, but power is a choice. It's either you die a forgotten coward, or you be remembered as something greater than the human feasible minds can comprehend. Now, if you're in, step forward. Quavo finished his speech, and as he expected, only a few came forward. He smirked at the crowd, and tipped his hat at 4 of the kleptos. Sickly purple veins bulged all around their bodies, as they cleared the distance between them and the crowd. All 4 had 2 men each in a chokehold, a sick grin on their face as they crushed their throats. Then they all threw the dead bodies at neck-breaking speed towards a building. They crashed through it, hitting a few buildings before they stopped. The crowd was about to piss their pants after seeing the demonstration, and the way out seems far and unreachable. Now, behold, the ultimate power, the creature that will make you great. The purple curtains fell, and a fat man, with a huge pot belly, sat in the middle of the podium, his eyes closed. Is this a joke, boss? One of Quavo's men asked after seeing the creature. Wait, isn't that old man Brown? One of the criminals asked. What's he doing here? Another whispered. Man, fuck this shit, I'm going home. All of Quavo's men turned around, but before they could leave, old man Brown spoke, but they knew it wasn't the old man speaking. No, it was something else. Brown, yes, you could say Brown is still inside here somewhere, in the trunk, but I am in the driver's seat. All of Quavo's men walked back and beheld old man Brown. His eyes were dark purple, devoid of any emotion, and he was levitating in the air. Oh, old man, you can put away the act now. How are you going to help us? Is it even possible for us to have powers like them? One of them stuttered. You do not believe me? Do not worry, you will in due time. The air became very thick all of a sudden, and the clouds became dark. Do you crave power? Do you want it like never before? The demon's voice came from the crowd. They all screamed when the dead body, from the man who was shot earlier, came back to life and was now speaking to them, looking like the old man with dark purple eyes. What are you? Your salvation from your human limits. I am your master and your duty is to obey. He finished his speech and the whole crowd was engulfed by a purple mist. Screams of pain and agony reverberated around, and gradually, they became bestial. Now that you have an army, what's next? Now, I'll let them wreak havoc. I see, Quavo said, stroking his goatee. I have a mission for you, Sacred Gear Bear. Find and bring Martha Hunter to me. I want her unscathed. That's gonna be hard, boss. She's the little sister of a pig in the Kuo pig pen, John Hunter. John Hunter? Why does that name ring a bell in my head? Quavo mused. A fat hog in the Kuo pen. One of the kleptos reminded him. A hog? Wait, John the Upright? Quavo's face lit up like Christmas. Oh, that one's fiery. So, that was his sister, eh? Is that the one you said I'll find interesting? Quavo asked the demon. The old man nodded. Yes, she holds the key to everything. Well, color me elated. Christmas came early this year. The leader of the Styx Cry group chuckled. Look alive, boys, we finally gone raid them pig pens, and slaughter all them hogs till they can't oink no more. Can't wait to kill them pigs. The klepto yelled, scales appearing on his face for a brief moment before they are seated. And when I get my hands on that blonde, you will have your chance, Sacred Gear Bear, get in line. You out for blood too, eh? Find the girl. I will deal with the blonde one myself. He's dangerous. I can help you with that. One of the klepto, a green-haired man, gave the possessed man a file on one Naruto Uzumaki. After reading the files, an evil smirk slowly formed on his face. Change of plans. I have never been to high school before. Let us pay a visit to Kuo Academy tomorrow, shall we? Scene change. Outside an underground club in Kuo. John had his eyes front and his gun secured tightly in his hands. His partner was right beside him in the same situation. A squad of SPRT in front of them was about to bust the door open. John had a black bulletproof vest on with the word police printed in white. Heads up. One of the SPRT exclaimed before they bust the door open, throwing in a tear gas canister. John and his partner followed suit screaming, hands up, KCPD. They arrested the drug addicts and the female strippers booed them. A few criminals tried to resist, but they were subdued, and before they knew it, one of them opened fire, gunning down an SPRT member, and it escalated to a gunfight quickly. The strippers in the club all hid for cover as the cops fought the criminals. John shot down 2 criminals before he disarmed one, and flipped him over his shoulder with explosive strength, breaking a table in the process. The screams of the women caught his attention before he saw something, or someone out of his peripheral vision. A girl dressed in Kuo Academy uniform. John Hunter walked past SPRT, stepping over a downed criminal, before he seized the student's hand. She had her back turned to him, and he couldn't see her face. He yanked her hand forward, turning her around, so she could face him. The student wanted to scream at the cop who yanked her hand to take it easy, but met a frown on the cop's face. What are you doing here? John frowned at the student. Scene change. Kuo City Police Department interrogation room. Naruto had a heavy frown on his face, leveling a heated glare at Yuri, who was busy looking at anywhere other than his eyes. The cops looked at the exchange going on between teacher and student through the screen in the interrogation room. Martha received a call from her brother who wanted to speak with Naruto. The blonde was busy doing nothing as always, and wondered why John wanted to talk with him. Imagine his surprise when he heard that they busted an underground club, and found an underage stripper from Kuo Academy, a student from his class. The student had no guardian, and further questioning led to her admitting she was a student of Class 3, the class that John was familiar with. He always heard Naruto moan and complain about that class, hence, he called Naruto to come bail her out. How long have you been doing this? Naruto asked, trying not to blow the top. Hey, teach. Never told us you were with the police. Guess we all have secrets, eh? She dodged the question, staring at the wall as if it had interesting scribblings on it. How long have you been working as a stripper? Naruto asked, banging his hand on the table. Yuri gritted her teeth and stared at Naruto right in the eye and answered, "What's wrong with that? You're 17 for crying out loud. So, others do it all the time. It's just a means to make money. You're too young to be doing something like this. Don't tell me I'm too young, the bills aren't gonna pay themselves, okay? When your own mother abandons you at birth, and your only father is a hopeless drunk, who only cares about a bottle of vodka, this is the only way to survive. Don't come here preaching to me about right or wrong, when you have been comfortable with your life since the start. People like you who lived a sheltered life with rich parents can never understand someone like us. Do you know what it's like to be alone? Hopeless. Having a father who steals your hard-earned money to buy a bottle of vodka. How it feels to have loan sharks chasing you around, because of the stupid debt your father accumulated over time. How it feels like when loan sharks harass you, because your own father loved alcohol too much, not even thinking about his daughter's future. Whoa, the kids had it tough, a cop commented, and the other cops couldn't help but agree. And so did I. Look at me now though, John commented. Yuri wiped her tears furiously after her outburst, looking anywhere else but Naruto. Yes, I know how it feels to be lonely. Like you don't exist, the despair grips your heart tight and it hurts, but I don't how it feels like to have a father, drunk or not, because I never knew my parents. I had good people around me when I was growing up, maybe that's why I turned out to be who I am today. The interrogation room went silent, and the only sound one could hear was Yuri sniffing, wiping her nose every now and then. You wanted to make money, I understand that, but engaging in illegal activities to make money is fundamentally wrong, Naruto explained with care. Where's your father? Don't know, I haven't seen him since last week. You didn't look for him? It's a common occurrence. I see. Naruto trailed off. You hungry? He asked. Yuri didn't trust her voice enough to speak, so she just nodded. Let me get you something to eat. Scene change. A small restaurant in Kuo. After bailing her out, Naruto took her to a restaurant, and let her order whatever she wanted. He watched her wolf down a huge bowl of ramen, and wondered how she kept her body lean and curvy. He gave a nod of approval when she drank the whole broth in one go, and all that was left in the bowl was an urutamaki. He couldn't help but smirk at the way she ate ramen. He stared at the busy road, watching different cars zoom past under the night sky. It was like they were breaking his worries, piece by piece, taking it all away with them. Where do you live? He asked her, eyes still on the road. In the red light district, she answered with a pout. Naruto felt relieved. She looked like a 17-year-old girl right now, not the cold front she always had on. You want a new apartment? Do you pity me? She narrowed her eyes at the blonde, a mean look on her face. Bonk. Ow. Yuri nursed her head, glaring at Naruto. I see myself, from when I was young, in you. Just think of this as me trying to provide a better life for someone like me. Think of it as an opportunity. Thanks, but no. I'll be fine on my own. Naruto sighed and facepalmed. Damn stubborn kids. You sure? Yeah. You don't need anything. She nodded. Okay, then. I'll see you in school on Monday. Naruto turned around and waved her goodbye. Wait, can you borrow me a few yen? I promise I will pay you back. Scene change. Achoo. Naruto, who was walking back home, stood in front of the 100-yen shop that Rose Swice had shown him, expecting to see a certain person. He shivered in the cold and rubbed his hands. Why is it getting cold every night? He wondered. The blonde Uzumaki decided to wait a few more minutes before he left, and, lo and behold, he saw Rose Swice in the distance. Oh, here she comes. He cleared his throat and straightened out his shirt, trying to look as cool as possible. Act cool. No, be cool, Naruto. This means nothing. You just wanted to return the favor. Naruto Uzumaki owes no one a favor. You didn't do this, because you were feeling bad about the other day. This means nothing, alright. Nothing at all. Nothing. Naruto nodded, reassuring himself. Achoo. He wiped his nose with his sleeves. Damn it. There goes my awesomeness, he cursed mentally. Oh, senpai. Rose Swice yelled, waving at Naruto. Here she comes. She's coming alright. Good evening, senpai. Rose Swice stopped in front of the tall blonde with a smile on her face. Naruto moved his hands behind him when she got near. Good evening. He trailed off awkwardly for a moment, angling his head a bit as he forgot something. Wait, I don't remember her name. Did you come here to get some groceries? She asked. Yeah. Naruto asked, more than answered. For sure, the 100-yen shop is the best, Rose Swice commented, nodding her head with a proud smile. Right? Naruto drawled out. Man, you sure love the 100-yen shop. Rose Swice blushed at that, and she quickly changed the conversation to save face. Where are your groceries? She asked, wondering where his grocery bag was at. Naruto saw this as an opportunity and straightened his back and stood at attention. A poofing sound went off and smoke filled Rose Swice's vision all of a sudden. She waved her hands around, and the smoke screen settled down then. She opened her eyes to a grocery bag in her face. Ahem, he cleared his throat, shaking the grocery bag in her face. Rose twice looked from the grocery bag to Naruto and asked, "What's this?" She asked, looking straight at Naruto's blue orbs. Did he perhaps think she was poor and decided to buy groceries for her? As if he knew what she was thinking, he quickly answered, "This is, a thanks for, the Vita vitamin you gave me." Naruto replied, still holding on to the bag. Saying the Virgin Valkyrie was touched was a deep understatement. Her expression made Naruto nervous, very nervous. She didn't say anything, she just stared at him with her green orbs, showing an emotion akin to surprise and happiness. Hello? Naruto scratched the back of his head. Rose twice realized she was staring, and blushed madly as she tucked her hair behind her ears. She thinned her lips, trying hard to fight a smile off her face, but she failed and accepted the bag with a full-blown smile on her face. Her first gift from a man. She never thought it'd come from the blonde stranger in front of her. She raised her head and gave Naruto a shy grin. "Thank you very much, Naruto-senpai." She bowed, failing to keep the excitement from her voice. "Oh? She's happy," Naruto thought with satisfaction. Both human and his guardian walked to their respective homes at a leisure pace under the crescent moon. For some reason, Naruto had his hands behind him and walked like a dignified person, basking in the afterglow of his rather deeply appreciated magnanimous gesture. Though, something was bothering his magnanimous self, and after his patience ran out, he finally decided to voice it out. "Aren't you going to see what's inside?" the shinobi asked. The Valkyrie hadn't even taken a sneak peek into the grocery bag. She just held it tight and swung it with every step she took like a child would with their favorite toy. "Nah, I'm going to wait till I get home," the Valkyrie answered, gripping the bag tight. She was still fighting hard to keep the smile off her face, and she was still failing hard. Naruto gritted his teeth at that. Why wouldn't she just open it? How was he supposed to know if she liked it or not? Achoo. God damn it. Who's talking about me? Naruto cursed. Rose twice, beside Naruto, giggled at his sudden outburst. "Senpai, it's just a cold, winter is near." "Really? I didn't sneeze because someone was plotting my downfall?" he questioned too seriously. Rose twice stopped to stare at him with a bewildered look on her face. She thought, Otten's beard, he's paranoid. "Why are you looking at me like that?" "Nothing," Rose twice replied sharply, looking away. Naruto sniffed every now and then, and they made small talk topics, never venturing further than school before they reached home. He walked her to the front door this time around, and waited for her to open the door. The Virgin Valkyrie had her hands on the doorknob, and with a gentle twist, she pushed the door open slightly, but she didn't want to go in just yet. She found herself enjoying the small talk she had with the blondie, but alas, all good things must come to an end. "See you later, senpai." She flashed Naruto her most grateful smile over her shoulder. "Oh yeah. I'm awesome. Now I don't feel like a super jerk anymore." 2 days later, Kuo Academy. Naruto sat in the staff room, staring at Azazel's seat and Rose Twice's empty seat in particular. He also noticed the devil teens weren't around. No supernatural students or teachers were in today. He sighed happily, could today get any better? He glared at Rose Twice's empty seat, and a feeling of uneasiness descended upon him. It can't be her, right? There's no way it's her. The girl looked too familiar, but he couldn't remember where he saw her. His eyes moved to the computer screen, and he had a mini flashback to when he first operated a computer. It was new and surreal to him, but now, here he was watching a video on USTube. The office landline rang loudly, getting his attention as the teacher answered it, and told him the call was from the police department. "Naruto Uzumaki speaking," he answered. "Naruto, it's me, John." "John, what's up?" "Kuo City Police Department is under attack by the Styx Cry group. We are trying our best to hold them off, but we are failing." Naruto became alarmed instantly. He just watched the 12 noon news, and they didn't say anything about the Kuo Police Department being under attack. "John, tell me what's going on clearly," Naruto answered. "It's hell in here. We are losing our minds. It happened all of a sudden, and our request for backup has been denied. They are armed with unknown weapons and are many in number." "John, calm down. I'm on my way. Just hang on a few minutes." Naruto paused, expecting a reply only to receive silence. "Hello? John? John?" Naruto yelled, gaining the teacher's attention. "Damn it," he cursed, hanging the phone. The blonde teacher typed the keyword Kuo Police Department on a search engine, and the monitor brought up a lot of results, and he clicked on a video, and it displayed a bird's eye view of Kuo, and the entire place looked normal. Except for the fact that everyone gave the police station a wide berth subconsciously. "A barrier," he mused. Alarm bells went off in his head. The attack was aided by supernatural force. The police can't handle that on their own. The blonde shinobi was a few feet away from the doorknob, trying to come up with an excuse for leaving work early, before he felt a great amount of negative emotion in the direction of the school's gate, and his eyes widened when the sky suddenly turned purple. All the students, due to the short break, were out to witness the strange event, and Martha was one of them. An explosion went off in the school's gate, and a mushroom cloud rose up to the air in the distance. Hey, what was that? My god, what's happening? An alien invasion. All the teachers and students began whispering. Naruto Uzumaki looked out the window, and what he saw was like a scene from a zombie movie. Strange creatures were running towards the main campus. Get the students back to their classes and maintain order, he ordered with a calm demeanor, his face going blank as he exited the staff room. Students raced around helter-skelter in the hallways, filling the doors, obstructing each other's path in their fear-induced frenzy. The blonde shinobi moved with grace till he was on the ground floor. He closed his eyes, and a moment later, he was in sage mode while moving. The shinobi inside him was finally awakening to a high-level threat, it seems. Martha's energy was inside the school like he wanted, and so was Yuri's. Most of the students' energies were close to the classrooms, and luckily for him, if the demon wanted Martha, it'd have to go through him first. He was their last line of defense. Naruto ran towards the incoming group of beasts. They felt like an abomination, a demon in sage sensory mode. No, there were stray devils mixed in, the blonde ninja noticed. He ran shinobi style towards the incoming stray devils and demons, who had the same signature as Ashirock, wondering if the posse partners knew what was going on. All the staff and students have seen the supernatural today. They already have a hard time coming to terms with the fact that this might be doomsday, so surely, seeing their teacher breathe fire would be nothing surprising, right? But to be on the safer side. This one is for Shima. Sage art, wind release, dust cloud, he exclaimed, exhaling a massive cloud of dust from his mouth. The students saw Naruto run into the huge cloud of dust that appeared all of a sudden and burst out with whispers. Martha, in particular, had a worried look on her face. Naruto ni, please be safe. Kuru Academy, a school to many creatures, be them humans, devils, angels, fallen angels, vampires, yaokeis, Asgardians, and, never forget to mention, a dimension-displaced super ninja, was an all-around peaceful school when they're not under the threat of a supernatural being, but right now, it was a battleground between man and demons. Thanks for listening. I do hope you enjoyed. If you want the next part of this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. And also check out the playlist that I have created, and enjoy. Link is in the description. See you in the next video. Peace.